Let's all go to the movies.
Saturday night at the movies. Who cares what picture you see? When you're hugging with your baby in the last row of the balcony.
I saw it. It was a run by fruiting.
He's looking at you, kid.
Hello, and welcome to Let's All Rewatch the Movies. I'm your host, Mike, and I'm here with my co-host, Sean. Sean, how are you doing?
Hello, Mike. See,
You feel good about that one?
I don't know. I was thinking the card today. I was like, I'm not feeling it, but I want to change it.
I was thinking about how are you going to greet me today? Was it going to be a good
I
Newman?
said I'll give it a
Newman?
back-to-back one with the Newman. I'm not feeling it. I don't know. I'm gonna have to go back to the drawing board. Well, hey, welcome back.
Welcome back. So today, this was a good week. Last week's movie was Remember the Titans? I couldn't
remember that one.
I couldn't remember the Titans. And this week we are continuing our football theme month with The Replacements, starring Keanu Reeves.
Yes,
One
as
of
we
my
enter
favorite
the
actors of
playoffs.
mine.
Yep, as the NFL playoffs are in fact, we figured we would continue the football theme, and this is a very underrated movie. I mean, some love it, some hate it. You know, it's one of the, I think either you like it or you hate it. Either way.
I'm not sure. I don't know. I'm not sure how many people even know Keanu Reeves did a football movie.
Yeah, it's like discussing Adam Sandler being in a football movie. You know?
Right? Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that should be. I'm excited. Actually, when I was Googling different football movies, when this came up first for me, I was like, you know what? I think this will be a good one to watch. Because I know you and I both saw this in the movie theater together for sure.
Yeah. It's the movie that made Scabs the heroes. So
Yes.
it talks about a real life situation, you know, and expanded upon it to make it in cinematic form. It was starring Gene Hackman and Keanu Reeves.
Right. Good cast. It's actually as Orlando Jones and our number one actor, Jon Favreau.
Yes.
Jon
Again,
Favreau's
a theme.
in it. A theme of Jon Favreau, right? This will be the third time we're going to be talking about Jon Favreau.
Yeah, we had Rudy. I'm surprised
Rudy,
Jon Favreau should have been somewhat
Elf.
in Christmas Vacation, right?
Right. We talked to him about Elf. We talked about.
Yeah, I think Jon Favreau was Russ. I don't think we discussed that now.
he was the cousin. He was he was the mute kid.
Yeah.
So actually, when I started researching online for this, I was getting excited to watch it. I haven't seen it in a while, but again,
the dialogue.
I've seen it a few times.
Yeah, no, I agree. We'll go over the dialogue at certain points is strong, you know, and I use some quotes even to this day from this movie.
Yeah,
and I remember it being, you know, I graduated this year in 2000 when it was released. And, you know, I was a football player, like we mentioned, and I kind of resonate with all football movies, but this one especially because it was like Rudy, very similar. And like we're going to watch our next football movie coming up next week, but follows the theme of the underdog, for the underdog. And same as the Titans. The Titans were underdogs as well. I remember the Titans because they were they were a non-segregated team for the first time in history, and no one thought to be successful, you know, so all underdog themed football movies. So
yeah, it's good. I'm excited for this one.
Yeah,
looking
so
forward.
We're gonna start off. It's our shortest one yet, so don't cry. Dry your eyes.
Before we start, I wanted to mention that if you want to follow us on Twitter, you can follow us on Twitter at Let's All Rewatch. And if you are on the Instagram or the Gram, you can follow us at Let's All Rewatch the Movies, underscores between all the words. And I think we started a Facebook page, so you can follow us on Facebook at Let's All Rewatch. And I think those are all of our social platforms right now. So
Yeah.
we keep moving forward, and we keep growing, and we would like to hear from you. So if you want to send us an email, you can send it from our Facebook page. And if you have any questions or comments, please feel free to send them our way. We will love to hear them.
Running time of the movie is 1 hour 58 minutes.
Okay.
So
let's
it's shy under 2 hours. So it's 1 hour 58 minutes 22 seconds. We'll do the countdown, and then we will give you the timestamps as we roll along. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, this is The Replacements. Get ready in 3, 2, 1, play. And we're at 4, 5, 6. Now, Mike, if you want to give a little intro based upon feedback from our listeners, what they like to hear.
We would like to hear
background audio.
Right now, the background audio, we're recording it. We have the movie playing as we're watching. But I would like to just let us know. Send us a tweet or an Instagram post and let us know if you like hearing the movie in the background on top of us talking, or should we try and get the movie audio out completely? Let us know.
Definitely, feedback is much appreciated.
Yes.
Because we want to make the best and easiest listening experience possible for you.
Yep. And also, if you can leave us a review on Apple Podcasts and Spotify, that'd be great.
Yeah, maybe we'll start doing some giveaways once we expand the podcast, where we'll
looking to grow.
We'll read off our favorite review of the week.
Oh yes, that'd be great. So this movie is based on the real-life story of the 1987 NFL strike, which saw the Washington football team use scabs to win 3 straight games early in the season before the regulars returned and they ended up winning the Super Bowl.
Yes. This is basically from 1987. The actual strike took place, and we're talking now, 30, almost 35 years later,
So it's amazing how this is the second time Keanu Reeves has played a football player. If you remember the first movie he played a football player. I'll give you a quote. Utah, give me 2. You know that quote?
No.
You don't?
No.
Point Break with Nick Nolte.
See, I think I saw Point Break once.
Oh man, we're gonna have to watch that. Yeah, he plays Johnny Utah, undercover cop. So he's underwater here, and he just found his, I guess, what is like a Heisman Trophy winner, like some sort of Heisman Trophy winner that he had won.
Yep.
Trophy.
Music here is typical, 90s leading into 2000s-esque. It's the soundtrack.
And look at this.
John Madden's voice.
John Madden and Pat Summerall.
Yep.
The late John Madden and late Pat Summerall. I totally forgot that John Madden was in this movie.
Yes.
Oh, cool.
Late John Madden passed away recently, and he was the state. Like, I had to explain to my son that yes, John Madden actually exists. It's just not a video game. He actually existed.
Yeah, it's crazy. Like the Google searches I've read, Google search was, is Madden named after John Madden? And then I was like, really? People having to ask that question? I'm surprised.
And I had an idea, for the new Madden coming up this year. I think they should somehow superimpose, if they're able to transport the old commentary.
That would be great to have that
Madden
in there
into the new game. Make it a feature. Just a thought.
He should definitely be on the cover of John Madden.
Oh, that should be automatic. Not another Tom Brady.
100%. Tom Brady and Patrick Mahomes do not need to be on it again. So we got Gene Hackman talking with the owner of the Washington Sentinels. They're finding out that the players are going to go on strike. and that he still wants to play, so he wants to hire some scabs.
Yeah. So it just shows that they try to make it authentic. They didn't have any, mom and pop or, standard voiceover actors playing the parts of broadcasters. They got John Madden and Pat Summerall to make it more authentic.
Made it very authentic. Those are two icons, right?
Yeah. Oh, no
John
doubt.
Madden, hello, a whole football franchise.
I mean, you'd hear that voice and you'd think of football. I mean, you think of hanging with, with the guys watching football and watching the Jets lose. He inventing the turducken, right?
Right, he mentioned that. Yeah, those great Thanksgiving.
Here's a guy games. When he puts his context in, it can see better. Thanks, John.
He just had. I haven't watched his documentary they did, the old Madden documentary. I heard it was pretty good.
I want to watch it with my son so he can understand instead of just doing it from a video game.
Yeah, I'm
understand
excited
the impact
to watch that
he made in football. So
yeah, he changed the game of football for a ton of people. Like millions, I would say. He changed the game of football for millions of people because of the game itself. Like the video game itself changed. People really enjoyed it.
Oh yeah, it made kids fans of football that may not like football just from the sheer video game aspect.
Yeah, I was just playing Madden 19 last night.
If you notice, it looks like kind of like the Washington football team logo. The W.
It does a little bit, right?
Yeah.
And I think the stadium that they're in, this is the stadium that the Baltimore Ravens play in.
Yes, Baltimore. They use the Ravens Stadium, but giving it the Nextel Stadium name. Perhaps only time in history that a stadium naming rights deal was negotiated just for a movie.
Wow, that's cool. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
So they're negotiating in the center, in the midfield here. He get that Gene Hackman's character is the coach, and he wants to pick his own players. He doesn't know.
I'm sure we'll cover this maybe during March Madness time. The fit, like Gene Hackman off of Hoosiers. Yeah. It's coach. You think of coaches, you think of Gene
Hackman's a coach, the ultimate coach.
Yeah, I'm sure maybe we'll watch Hoosiers over March Madness.
Yeah, actually a good idea, March Madness. Yeah, because there's definitely a couple of basketball movies we could watch.
Yeah,
like Mike would be one, I guess, right? Like Mike.
There he
is. John Favreau.
JF.
Again, we are talking about John Favreau. He's
with his big boss man-esque look from the
right.
90s.
He looks like Big Boss Man. Yeah. He's an officer, a police officer, and they're recruiting him to be linebacker.
See, Mike, I was dragging before we came into the podcast, but now I'm picked back up now. Watching
You're picking it up.
Yeah.
Right?
Brings back memories, fond memories.
So Orlando Jones, or his character's name is Clifford Franklin. He's fast. He's real fast. So he's running down all the thieves.
But he doesn't have hands.
But he can't catch.
Typically, that's a lineman. He had a lineman like I can catch for anything.
Steps. The thief throws the Twinkies in the air, and he can't catch them. And he ends up stepping all over them.
Andre got traded, and they both fell apart.
So you got the two Donald Faison, which he was in. Not Donald Faison. His name. What's his name? He was in The Elf. He was the manager of the stuff in Elf.
They call him the leg.
Love. Faison Love or something like that.
Yes, I'll get the name, but we calling back to Elf.
Yeah.
Faison Love was Jamal Abdul Jackson, number 72.
That's right. Faison Love.
Guard. And Michael Taliaferro was as Andre Action Jackson, number 73. The Jackson brothers.
But the Elf ties, John Favreau and that guy for Faison Love. And so now they have the British kicker. They bring him in. And then Shane Falco.
Yeah, Keanu Reeves was riding high off of 2 years earlier with The Matrix.
Right.
And now you see the new Matrix just coming out, and We watched The Matrix in the AMC movie theater in Hamilton when it opened up, prior for Star Wars Episode 1.
Right, we saw Phantom Menace at AMC Hamilton. That was the first showing.
My first time ever skipped school to go see Jar Jar Binks.
That's right, Miso. I remember somebody driving their car around the rotunda. Do you remember that?
Yes.
I remember that very vividly.
That just had his permit. They didn't have a license.
Right. Is it?
That's why girls don't play the game.
So Coach Hackman is he has tracked down Shane Falco, Keanu Reeves, on a fishing boat, and he's trying to talk him into coming and being his quarterback. And there's a history. Shane Falco has this history that we'll find out during the course of this movie that he was no part of playing football anymore. He's done playing football. But Gene Hackman is he persuades him. He gets him to come on in.
Great thing about plankton, it pretty much keeps to itself.
Did you know that Keanu Reeves needed a body double to make all of his football throws?
Okay, yeah, I'm not surprised. I mean, it's tough unless you're a natural athlete.
Yep.
It's hard to make you throwing a football look like a professional athlete. It's one thing playing catch or throwing catch as opposed to throwing in an actual game setting.
His same body double for this movie was the same body double for Dennis Quaid in Any Given Sunday. Same was Robbins.
Yeah, I'm sure we'll add that to the docket coming up. That was a great football movie.
He did all the throwing and he took majority of the hits. So Gene Hackman, he's going out on a limb here. He's thinking that he can maybe pull Shane Falco out of retirement and get him to come and play for him. He wants him to be part of something big. Yeah, it's kind of like, is it that big? It's now all the professional football players are outside the stadium picketing, and here comes the bus full of gabs, as they call them.
For those of you that
eggs,
right? Yeah.
Yep.
For those of you that are interested and want supplemental viewing, ESPN did a 30 for 30 called Year of the Scab a couple years ago in 2017, celebrating the 30th anniversary of this incident. So if you want to go back to relive the real life situation, go back and watch the 30 for 30.
Now, can you imagine all these little police officers trying to hold back these huge professional athletes here, trying to get off the bus? And look, see, Clifford Franklin is taking photographs, and he's using a disposable camera. Who has seen a disposable camera? I haven't seen one of those in years.
I know, my grandmother wanted one.
A disposable camera?
A couple years ago, yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah, exactly. I don't know. I don't know if you can even find those anywhere.
yeah, they're still around, but
Far and few between, I bet.
they're more so around young kids like them, like Polaroids. The Polaroid, like they'll make the little mini Polaroid cameras.
Okay.
And it's the hip thing for the kids to have. It's an old square-looking photo.
Yeah.
You can pull out.
My daughter had them, but
Yeah.
the film for those are not they're not cheap.
Those are also popular for weddings too. You'll see them on the wedding table still to this day. They'll
really?
use those. Yeah.
So here's number 86. If anybody has ever watched The Office, that is Roy. Roy from The
Yes.
Office is here.
Yes, Roy, a little thinner Roy.
A little thinner, a little younger Roy. He plays a deaf tight end. And the coach has no idea how to react to him. He just smiles and walks away. Doesn't even say anything. So this is a good cast. This is a really good cast. And so the coach comes over to Gene Hackman. He says, "My tight end. He's deaf."
What if they rename the Washington football team the Sentinels next year?
They should,
right?
They should. I
They
think
should, right?
that might be one of the options. I think there's a huge option.
I would be fine with it. You know,
That'd be great.
Okay. Yeah.
I was looking online. You could buy a Shane Falco jersey on Amazon.
I would,
I would too. I would too. I was like, do I get it in time for our recording? He wasn't going to get here in time, so I decided to decline.
He's much stronger than he looks. I'm wiry.
And so
Wiry. I said to this day, wiry.
So the kicker calls himself Wiry.
No, wiry.
Oh yes, that way. He's wiry. Wiry. So this is like a little bit like a throwback to like Major League too, right? Because
Yes.
they try to get all these bottom feeders to play baseball, and now they get all these bottom feeders to be scabs. Like this one guy, he's part of the Department of Corrections. He's handcuffed.
Because you'd say the ultimate goal is to not succeed, to show you need big time players, to bring them back.
Yeah.
So, in real life, the NFL Players Union called a strike 2 weeks into that season. And the owners responded by hiring replacement players who donned NFL uniforms and played games that counted for 3 consecutive weeks.
Yeah.
Numerous players crossed the picket line, and the union eventually gave up, calling the strike off and returned to work. They later used the course to finally be granted the right to free agency more than 15 years after baseball players received.
Kurt Flood. he's still hung up on the fact that the kicker used to describe his wiry. He's just wiry. Just say wiry. How many times you can say wiry? Here comes a big sumo wrestler coming in. He is not wiry.
No.
Have you lost weight?
Yeah, Gene Hackman asked him if he's lost weight, and he seems don't.
He gets
say
offended.
That. He gets so offended by it.
Yeah.
So he's lost weight. Sumo wrestler.
He's a sumo wrestler. He's good at pushing people around, like offensive lineman, right? Yeah. Like he's usually like thought. That would work, right? Theoretically, that would work. A sumo wrestler would be a good offensive lineman, right?
You would think so.
You would think so.
All offensive linemen, you're pushing, the opponent. Separating.
The Eagles drafted Jordan Mailata, a rugby player, and they groomed him to be. I think he's going to be one of the best left tackles in football. But if you ever see him run with a rugby ball, you would think that he would be a great running back because nobody was touching him, nobody stopped him. But the fact that he turned him into a lineman, that he I don't think he allowed any sacks this year, maybe 2. He was great. Jordan Mailata, look it up. If anybody's want to look up Jordan Mailata's rugby highlights, I suggest you do. It's pretty amazing. So Shane Falco has arrived at the stadium. He's a little late, and he is now being confronted by the players. And so they're telling Shane Falco that his truck is in the wrong spot. So
I got to move it.
So Martell, I think that's his name, Martell. They move his car out of his spot by flipping it onto its side. And Shane Falco's kind of laid back. He's like, all right, thanks, buddy. He walks away and locks it. Just to make sure he locks it. Hear the beep.
Hey, Falco, you're not even a has-been.
Hey, Falco, you're never even a has-been. You're a never was. So he's got this name. They call him Footsteps Falco because of his Sugar Bowl debacle. If you go online and look up the Allstate Sugar Bowl Shane Falco, there's a whole article about that game. It's worth the read. It's a really good read. It's funny. So here comes Shane Falco through the steam and the mists of
the hair blowing.
The hair blowing. The savior, as you would say. Or would you say the one? He's the one.
Yes.
Right?
He took the red pill here.
He took the red pill. He goes, Falco. He's gonna go deep here. I'm not sure why Gene Hackman's like yelling "Go."
For some reason, I just think of Doug Flutie when I saw him. You know.
Shane Falco.
Yeah. Oh.
He goes. He runs at the wide receiver runs at the back of a lineman.
Okay.
A little bit. Now, that was two different guys running for the ball, right? There was the guy who said, "Hey Falco, I'll go deep," and then the guy who ran into the lineman was Clifford Franklin. Like that was a little off, I think.
Well, I have to. I noticed. I thought it was Clifford, but it wasn't.
Not he was the first one. Clifford Franklin was the guy that ran in the back.
There comes Bateman.
Here comes Bateman.
You can't tackle the quarterback. That's why he's wearing red.
Right. So he considers he starts to introduce himself. In practice, we don't hit the fellows in the red jerseys. He was to go after him like a bull. Danny Bateman. Gotta love Jon Favreau. I don't know. I do love Jon Favreau.
Oh, it was fantastic.
Move fast, think even faster. You'll live a lot longer. Very interested in that.
He said, think faster and move even faster. You'll live longer.
It's Whitey.
Whitery. I don't think he's even put on his pads yet, right?
No.
He said he tells Shea Factor he's lost a ton of money on his Sugar Bowl debacle. Ole, 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 ole. This is a good soundtrack too. Again, I gotta point out the soundtracks I like. This is a good soundtrack.
Yeah, it was. It's your typical late 90s, you know.
2000.
I've been listening to a lot of the 9 on 90s on Sirius XM. Oh, there she is. Oh, I had the biggest crush on Brooke Langton.
Oh yeah, right. You did, didn't you?
Yeah, till this day.
So Shea Falco has this cheerleader has caught his eye, as you would say. He is kind of just a little distracted. And he's not his eyes aren't on the field; it's on her. And what happens is that he hikes the ball. He's still looking at her. He can't take her eyes off her. And what happens? What happens with Bateman here? Runs him right over again. And Shane's like, red shirt. And he's like, oh, I forgot, man. Sorry, this whole red shirt thing is difficult.
And Bateman and linebacker, a beast.
Right? Red means stop. Ah, like a street light. Gotcha.
Go ahead, I'm just gonna lie here a moment and collect my thoughts.
He's gonna collect his thoughts while laying on the ground. Might have lost a few steps by getting hit like that. Thank God he's on your side, he said, Gene Hackman.
I could not like Gene Hackman, you know.
Love Gene Hackman. Enemy of the State. Remember that movie? That was a good movie.
Yes.
So now we're hearing. See, now we flash to the cheerleaders. I guess they're on strike too.
Yeah, this is a classic '90s montage of comedic skits.
Right. So they're having cheerleader tryouts because I guess all the cheerleaders are on strike as well. And so all these people came out of the woodwork to try out for the cheerleading squad. And they're kind of like, there'd be all these stereotypes of people who would not normally be a cheerleader.
That was great. Thank you. Thank you.
And she's very positive about, those are really great. Thank you. You're great. It's like did the movie really need like the whole cheerleader tryouts? I don't know.
Well, you need the female aspect of it, you know. Now in this day and age, to be a female football player that would be on the field, you know, as opposed to a cheerleader.
Necessary Roughness. They had Kathy Ireland as the
Yes,
kicker.
exactly. She was good. Yeah,
That was way before this movie.
yeah. But you needed a romantic interest, for Falco.
Yeah, I guess.
The
Yeah, I guess
element plus it provided comedy, as we'll see the strippers become the
right. The lead cheerleaders.
yeah.
So
He's
they're trying
smiling.
to
Yeah.
right. They're trying to bond here. He goes, "I'm not Chinese, I'm not Japanese. I'm Chinese." Or everybody's trying to figure out where they're all from. They all want to go sit with the deaf kid. They don't know what he's saying. He's familiar. The Reverend. Where is he? What movie is he from? I can't remember where he's from. I have to look
That's
that
the
up.
thing as well.
Hit 'em. Make it last. Come on, boys. Let's kick some.
Tony Winbush. I don't know. I guess he was in
Maybe
this movie.
this the one this the player that was saying, "Hey Falco,"
Yeah, he was. Yeah,
Yeah.
and then it would end up being where Clifford Franklin was running into the lineman. I guess he looks familiar, but he was only in this movie.
So it's the cop and the convict eating together.
Right, for the first time, realizing that he's a cop. Clifford Franklin just talks. And the convict was an actual football player, like in the show here. Clifford Franklin misspoke, and now he's holding a knife to his face.
Yeah, for allegedly beating up cops.
Right, for allegedly beating up cops. And then Clifford Franklin says, "Oh, it's all the cops' fault. It's all the cops' fault." And then Jon Favreau's like, "I'm a cop. It's gonna knock a cop out if he ever sees one." He just
It's amazing that the transformation Jon Favreau made.
totally different, right?
Great shape here, and then now he's a chef in a way.
He's a very big chef.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, are you Heather and Dawn? Yep.
So now we're flat to the strippers who are finally come to the tryouts. They didn't really try out. They kind of she just says, "Okay, you're on the team," because they're probably better than anybody else that has come in.
It's another weapon. They could distract the other team.
Right. Which they end up using, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So that style of dancing, that was. Is that dancing a style?
Is pole dancing a style?
Oh my god, I forgot.
Now I'd say it is. People use it as a workout.
Yeah, for sure they do.
I have my pole next to me.
Okay.
I've seen all I need to see. No way!
She's seen all that she needs to see. You're hired. And then bring anybody else who wants to come and dance. Bring them down too.
Would you send them over?
See, I mean, this kind of is.
Absolutely.
You want to be realistic in a way. This is the comedic part of it, of course. But you would have a long line of gymnastics, gymnasts, choreographed dancers that be trying out, not just strippers is your best option.
Right. Yeah, exactly.
You-
So now practice is over, and
Former
Shane
college
Falco's
cheerleaders.
right. Yeah, basketball cheerleaders. You get all kinds of cheerleaders. So now Shane Falco's meeting the head cheerleader for the first time, and his truck is still turned over, and they've spray painted scab on the roof of his truck. He's gonna call AAA. What's AAA gonna do? You need like a you just need to take the car away. So he gets a lift with which
So
her driving
Yeah,
through
I mean-
the streets here is dangerous.
Well, I mean, she's not. She's also well known. It's not her only football, forte, or a movie or film. She was also a part of Friday Night Lights.
She
That
was?
Series. Yes,
The,
great
the
series.
series or the movie?
The series.
The series. I had never watched the series.
Yes, great series. Highly recommend it.
Really?
Yes, fantastic.
I think I've seen the movie. I
It's
thought it
definitely
was
binge worthy.
okay.
It's a fantastic. It's a mixture. It's got like kind of Remember the Titans in it. It has in a way.
Right.
You can say Rudy in a way. It has 90210 mixed in there. The
We're
movie
talking about
itself,
Friday Night Lights, the
Yes,
TV series,
yeah,
is all
yes.
has all that in it.
yeah, wrapped up in it. I'd say.
Is the TV series as good as the movie, or is the movie better than the TV series?
Me, I like the TV series because you had eight. I think almost 8 seasons of it.
Where can I watch it? Netflix?
But I think it's on Netflix.
I'll have to look it up. I saw the movie and I figured, I don't think I need to watch the.
Yeah, it's
TV
better than the
series.
movie.
All right. Is anybody from the movie in the TV series?
I don't.
I got a lot
I
of
don't
questions
think so.
about this.
They
Got a lot of
they
questions.
recast the players, or
What about the coach?
in the movie? No, the coach in Friday Night the movie or the TV series. I think is a lot better than the movie.
Okay. So this is a weird cut. They cut. He was at his
Kyle
house.
Chandler. Kyle Chandler. He was in. I think it was the Bloodline that was on Netflix.
Okay. He's the coach, right? I know what you're
Yes.
talking about. I know what he looks like.
Minka Kelly is in it. And Connie Britton plays the coach's wife, Tammy Taylor. Lasted 5 seasons total, 76 episodes.
It's worth watching, huh?
Yeah, from 06 to 2011.
I'll watch. I'll try it.
And you could watch it on Netflix right now.
Okay. I'll start watching it
I'm
right
going to
now.
add to my list. I'm going to go back and watch it
All right.
once again.
I'll start watching too, and then we'll.
It's high school drama mixed in with, football.
This is the one thing I noticed about replacements. There was weird cuts. Like he just got dropped off at his house, the houseboat, and then they cut to him at the stadium. What is that?
Because he
That's the
went
weirdest
back, you would think,
But he didn't have a car. He had to walk all the way back after all that. Like it's not like she gave him another ride back to the stadium. Just weird cuts.
One of my favorite lines of the movie. You're like a duck on a pond.
It's a good line.
I've used it many times.
Keanu Reeves has a
People say-
really good quote at the end of the movie. I won't say it now, but I'll point it out when we come to it.
Well, people would ask me, that's such a great quote. Where'd you hear it from? I said,
Gene
it's, in
Hackman
it's from literature.
Literature. Classic American literature.
You don't know Jean-Yves Hackman?
So here's their first game with Scabs.
And eggs.
Oh man,
Hard-boiled eggs.
hard-boiled eggs before a game. How many is he gonna eat? How many does he eat? You know what it reminds me of? Cool Hand Luke. You ever see Cool Hand Luke?
Yes.
Where he's got to eat all those
A
eggs?
couple dozen.
Oh man.
They're
Does
good
he
for you,
want
but not all the yolks, though.
All of those. Look at him. Look at him go.
It's just the egg whites, yeah. But the
My
yolks,
kids,
it's a
my
lot.
son loves hard-boiled eggs, but he just eats the whites. He doesn't eat the yolks.
Yeah, I see that. I can see that.
It's actually, I love their colors. I like their uniforms.
Yeah.
They're red. This scarlet
Well,
red with the
to me,
letters, with the outlined letters.
It's traumatizing because it's Patriot-esque. I can't deal with that.
Oh yeah, a little bit, sure.
It brings back bad memories
Brings back better.
as a Jet fan.
It's a nice looking. Looks like a nice looking jersey. I might have to order that on Amazon. Don't tell anybody though.
No. No one will hear it.
For some of these players, this is another shot. And a last shot.
So you're thinking some of the cheerleaders are those professional and they spruce it up with the strippers
Right.
as the real players. Yeah, like the real players would be sitting in the parking lot.
Right. The
they'd
real
be in
players are
their
not going to be
mansions.
sitting in the parking lot, and They're
In
not
their
sneak,
mansions, yeah.
They're not going
Yeah.
to sneak onto the field and put a tripwire up. They don't
Yeah.
really care. But sure,
So you have to have a foil. You have to have an enemy. You know?
you're right.
Yeah.
The players are the enemy, and they make it look bad by they all fall and trip on each other coming out. And there's John Favreau was the first one to come out, and he takes out half the cheerleaders. And they say, "Please send the medical trainers down." And I think so. He steps over all the cheerleaders. He makes the Heisman move right there.
Yeah.
He makes the Heisman move. And so they all gather up all the cheerleaders, get them out of the way, and they finally make their way out of the tunnel.
Even in pandemic football, there were more fans.
Right?
It's kind of like XFL, the way the XFL looked, with the scatter fans,
I think and now they're reviving the USFL this year or next year. Now, how many people are going to play? Who's going to go watch?
We'll see. I think the XFL will do well once The Rock brings it back because it was doing well the second time around.
It was starting to.
Yeah. I mean, you're not going to get sell-out arenas and stadiums. It's not going to happen initially, but it was building momentum, and it was good quality football. It was competitive football, not like the first one. There was potential.
The first one was fun. I think, the first one. I remember watching the first game. The first game was fun to watch.
Yeah,
Look,
it was wrestling mixed with football. That's what it was. And this was more straight football. Wrestling sticking out of it.
The eye in the sky that the NFL uses, that sky cam, that came directly from the XFL.
Yes. However, it was two different versions of the XFL. This would have done well, I think, but I think The Rock's going to take it and
what's he going to do?
it.
I'm excited to see what he's going to do.
Yeah, there's talks that he's going to start it in 2023 next year.
Okay,
restart it. It's bad. It's too bad the timing of it, because what happened with the pandemic. That I think it would have lasted. I'm not sure how long, but it would have been a stronger league than the first incarnation.
Yeah, I'm excited for that.
Because what was the other one that was created, that lasted a few weeks and when it went out?
It was very quick.
Yes, NFL. Oh no, it was the USLPA. Something I forgot the name of it. I have to think of that.
So now they're trying to call the first play, and before they could call the first play, Shane Falco gets knocked in the head and thrown to the ground.
The Alliance of American Football. That's right. It lasted. It had 8 teams. Went through bankruptcy. It was in 2019, a couple of years ago.
Right. A couple of those players made it to the NFL.
Yes, but however, they just like people knew the XFL waited. They wanted to jump the gun, and they released their season prior to the XFL, and they ran out of money. There was the AF, we just said, the XFL, the USFL, like Mike was saying, was coming back, and the WFL.
There's also the NFL Europe, and then that lasted for a while. So they haven't ran a play yet, and they're negative 10 yards. They've had 2 delay of game penalties.
This is a little remix of Separated by Offspring.
Is it?
Yeah. Yeah, keep them separated.
So Shane Falco rolls out to his right and gets
a fumble.
And gets lit up.
It's like watching my real team. I was looking for the Jets to see what they're playing in the playoffs. I never see them usually it's after week 17, but now it's after week 18. I never see them on the schedule. I don't know why. It's like I can't find them on TV after the end of the season. I don't know.
Did I send you the message where they have the longest playoff appearance streak? They're the team that hasn't seen the playoffs the longest out of all the teams in the NFL.
That's about right.
Those Jets. I think they haven't been in the playoffs since 2010.
Yes, that's when they had. That was the Mark Sanchez era.
Was that when they did the The butt sack.
It was around there.
Oh, here it is. I looked it up here. Yeah, 2010 was the last time they
Yeah.
appeared in the NFL playoffs.
All right, back to the movie. Let's not talk about that.
So after the fumble, the other team grabs the fumble and walks into the end zone for a quick 7 points. Well, 6 points. And there's still a good amount of fans in the stands.
See, I love this part of it. I mean, they showed the cheerleaders. The cheerleaders weren't unionized, so there would be no reason for them to strike.
No, there's no reason for them. It's just, the side story. So Gene Hackman, it looks, he's wearing a fedora, like kind of looks like Tom Landry on the sidelines,
Yes. The
But
old
he's wearing
school
a suit
coach.
jacket.
There's the eggs.
There's all the eggs getting barfed up right now. That is ripe. And then Clifford Franklin goes, I can't be near anybody who's throwing up or I'm going to throw up. Oh, here goes the other guy throws up.
I'm going to throw up now.
I'm going to do it. Clifford Franklin's losing it. The whole team is barfing here. And so now the deaf tight end has said he's going to go throw up. He just signed it to everybody. And so now as a team, they finally work together to move on the field. They just huddle and then they just scurry to the side away from the vomit at the ground. John Bannon he's never seen anything like this quite before. He's never seen it. He's never seen it on a football field. Can you imagine if coaches wore a suit and tie on the sidelines nowadays instead of like their sweatshirts?
That's why I love watching, football. Basketball and hockey. Coaches are wearing suits.
Yeah, they're the only ones that are wearing suits.
Yeah,
and like baseball, they're wearing uniforms, so that's that kind of okay. But
they're matching. You're not going to see a coach wear pads, but
no, but the coaches are wearing. They could wear.
Bill Belichick looks like he rolls out of bed.
Yeah,
his clipboard, and he's ready to coach.
Now I think they're playing a team that hired a professional, like amateur football team to play for them. Like these aren't like the other team isn't just like guys off the street. They're actually another team that played in like a private league or something like that, if I remember correctly. And they're calling the plays. This is before they had earpieces in the quarterbacks' helmets. Earpieces in the quarterbacks' helmets is only pretty relatively new compared to when this movie came out. So yeah, within the last 20 years, they've put earpieces in the quarterbacks' headsets, their helmets.
Yeah, well, that last completion by Falco puts them back in field goal range. Field goal, let's go.
Oh, so they're gonna send out the bloody Welsh wiry kicker. He wants to hit. Gene Hackman just reminds him that he kicked the ball over the bar, not under it. It's not soccer. And he goes out there. He's smoking a cigarette. He's kicking his first field goal ever. What does he have a nickname I forget if he had a nickname, the Golden Toe or something like that.
I mean, soccer or football, athletes are great kickers, so it's not uncommon to see them.
Not uncommon, no.
Because right now in the NFL, I think there's a lack of steady kickers. Like the Jets went through like 3 or 4 kickers this season.
Yeah, I don't know what that's like. The Eagles have a very steady kicker at Jake Elliott.
Yeah.
Very steady.
Yeah. It's just amazing, that there's the lack of consistency in kickers that are out there. I mean, they had one game the Jets played earlier this year. The kicker missed 3 consecutive field goals.
Yeah, so that you're.
Or extra
I would
points,
say you're right.
Say. Extra points.
Yeah, there is like that.
Not even field
there
goals,
is
extra points.
You're right.
So, parents would tell kids, if you want to make money, learn how to kick the ball.
Learn how to kick a football. So they're trying to spell
If I
out
weren't a
Sentinels.
huge guy, right? and we're like a natural, athlete, but I could kick, I'd be doing that. Focus on that. You make become a
Yeah.
millionaire. Being a
Some of the
kicker.
oldest players are kickers now.
Yeah, yeah.
Except for Tom Brady.
Tom Brady will be playing until he's 50.
Yeah.
He'll be getting Medicare information in the mail, and he'll be on his 15th ring.
That's funny. I saw a meme that said, "My grandfather's quarterback was Johnny Unitas. My dad's quarterback was Joe Montana. My quarterback was Tom Brady, and my kid's quarterback is Tom Brady."
It's insane. It's insane. Like Tom Brady came out or started, when I was in college, my sophomore year in college.
Yeah.
And now I have 2 kids, and they're watching Tom Brady play.
Well, this is how irrelevant Tom Brady was in his first year in Madden football. He was number 12. His name wasn't even in the game.
Yes.
He was just number 12, like the third string quarterback.
Yes.
Look at that. He was irrelevant.
And I love telling the story that the Jets picked Chad Pennington over Tom Brady.
Great pick. Great pick.
Yes.
No, Chad Pennington was a good pick. He
quarterback.
was a good
just
player.
He didn't have any tools around him.
And
That's the problem.
nobody knew Tom Brady was going to be Tom Brady.
No.
Nobody. And if Drew Bledsoe doesn't get hurt, there's no Tom Brady.
You
There's
don't
no
know.
Tom
Yeah.
Brady. You don't know. So now it's a tie game because of an interception. And so John Favreau is now coming after their running back, and he steals the ball from them.
He not only does
what a
he
player.
rips it out of his hands.
Rips it right. He rips it out of his hands, and it was cool. Gene Hackman goes, "Go get me the ball," and he got him the ball.
I love this part.
Yeah.
Okay.
He got me the ball, and the whistle blows. Okay, go sit down.
Okay. Okay.
He's totally charged up. Like talk about playing to the whistle, right? Don't they always say that? Play to the whistle. Play to the whistle. DC Wright, Zig, 90 Eagle. Gene Falco's like, what? Huh?
This play is called the John Wick.
This is called the John Wick. This is how cool Keanu Reeves is.
You go John Wick?
I know, right?
He did it.
He gave 70% of his Matrix salary away. He donated it. 70%.
Well, that's what the Matrix wants you to believe.
Ah, is that right? So now he's changing the play, and nobody knows what the play is.
Yes.
He can't audible it. He's trying to audible out.
No
He's
one's
shaking
there.
off the pass, and nobody's there for the handoff, and he gets lit up again. He takes some hits, man, but he gets the ball off, and the Reverend breaks 1 tackle, or breaks 2 tackles, and I think he gets
Just can't get that touch. He's told Falco during lunch.
He just
wants to score that touchdown. He wants to score that touchdown.
He's like a foot short, and he just got destroyed. His knee is all banged up now. Like what? Yeah, what's Shane Falco got to lose? Why call off the play that Hackman called? There he goes. If I wanted to run, I would have called it that way.
He called up because he got scared.
He got scared. What's he got to get scared of? Like, what's he got to lose? Like, winners always
Because
want the ball.
it's PTS in a way where he's living back to the college the infamous
Sugar Bowl.
play. Yeah, the Sugar Bowl play that cost him his professional career.
Yeah, that's where he got his name, Footsteps Falco, right?
Mm-hmm. So it's always lurking. That's why he exiled himself in a way. Defense mechanism.
So there was a moment where she was trying to get Shane Falco's attention, and he was not receptive, as I would say. And now they're talking to go to sports radio, and they're like, "I have season tickets and I can't even give these tickets away. Nobody wants to see these guys play. So they're all down and out. And now they're at the end zone bar. And they have this dance party, really, right?
Yes.
Now, why do they go to this bar if the head cheerleader owns a bar and it's all about Sentinels? Why not go to that bar? Why gotta go? Why go to this?
They're sulking. They want to be away from people.
They went to a bar called the End Zone. Like, stay away from a bar that's football themed, right?
Because also this is what Tom Brady would be doing right now if he wasn't playing, right?
And then all the professional football players come in and they wreck their party.
And I love Tom Brady will be in a chamber, preserving his body right now.
After each game.
Yes.
So Shane sticks up for everybody, like the quarterback should do. And so Roy, we'll call him Roy because I forget his name.
Yes, he's Roy. He's Roy in everything. No matter what he's in, he's been in many different shows since. He's always Roy.
Roy gives Shane a message, and calling him now the bar fight starts. Shane's like, it's okay, it's cool, everything's cool, everything's cool. He goes, have you had enough?
You got shit for brains, but you got balls.
Danny.
Uh-oh.
What I told you about red shirts in practice?
Yeah.
Danny with red shirts in practice. And so Martell's wearing a red shirt, so Danny goes after Martell with a red shirt. Now, honestly, if you're a multi-millionaire football player, are you really going and tracking down these scabs and like risking getting injured in a bar fight? No, you're not. You're not. Oh man, the kicker kicked that guy hard. We're all God's children. This is a pretty intense bar fight. They're throwing guys down the bar, and the reverend is just preaching after every fist thrown. And then there's a sumo wrestler that is, you don't want to mess with a sumo. And look what happens. All the scabs get thrown in jail. Bateman and Wilkinson. Wilkinson is the former football player who is in the DOC, but he plays by I think John Smith, because nobody can know that he's actually playing. So they're all in jail, and I guess this is a bonding moment for them, right?
Oh, absolutely. Naniska.
You're the man tonight, Clifford Franklin. Clifford Franklin was talking smack, and everybody saw Clifford Franklin hanging behind the jukebox. He didn't want to mess up his face. He was afraid. He was maybe petrified.
Here goes the classic, like, remember the Titans, they're ain't no mountain high enough. Their trademark theme, and now I Will Survive was this movie's trademark theme.
So the Clifford Orlando Jones had a pretty good career. I think he made quite a few movies after this. I remember him in The Time Machine with Guy Pearce. He was the librarian. He was good in that.
This is critical too now, because you'll see the next team they may play against, Dallas, the entire team crosses the picket line. So now they have replacements going head to head with a professional team.
I hate Dallas. And I think in the end here, Shane Falco gets up and he awkwardly twirls and slides with them.
Yes. Does the
He
line
feels the
dancing
beat.
version.
He feels the beat and he jumps in awkwardly. Even everybody's in it. Everybody's now they're all line dancing. Yeah, I think Keanu Reeves has a dancing double there because his hat is all pulled down over his face. You really can't see his face. He might not have it stand-in. He's not doing his own dancing. He might be the guy who see, look, now his hat's off. Look at that. See,
Yes, he took it
he had
off.
his hat on. Now he took it off. Why who takes his hat on and off during the dance like that? Come on.
I want you to know that if anything like this bar fight happens again, there'll be no place on the football team for any of you.
So Gene Hackman, I don't know if he can really say that. He says that if anything like this happens again, there's not going to be any room on the team for you. Like who are you going to get? Like this is the bottom of the bottom.
He's trying to, still impose his power and control over the team, being a coach, at the same time congratulating them for kicking their behinds.
Right,
Yeah.
right.
What are you doing?
So Shane's back on his boat working. That's not his boat. Is he cleaning boats? He's cleaning boats. He's not
Cleans
working.
boats because he has a boat. He has a boat too. He does both. Lives on a boat, cleans boats.
So she's trying to track him down. She's definitely interested in him. He's definitely interested in
You
her.
think? Really?
Did you have a neighbor that looked like her growing up? Remember her? I forget her name.
Well, no, I had my sister's friend look like her.
Ah, okay.
How are you running after last night?
That's right.
I forgot about that.
I didn't.
The whole town heard about it. From the game or from the fight?
So he's got so many bruises, he can't tell what bruise is from what. Is it from the fight or from the game?
But honestly, in football, like I'll notice there'll be a bruise on me. You have no idea where'd that come from. I have no
Where did
idea.
that come from?
After that, the team was really clicking.
But then you have two kids and you see the same thing. Where did this bruise
Right.
come from, on me? What do they do?
Yeah.
Beat the crap out of me.
No,
So you can tell that she kind of knows what she's talking about when she's discussing football with him.
Yeah, so she knows
About-
football. I mean, she's been around it long enough here. Her
Well,
character.
but as as the movie goes on, you find that out. But right now, you really don't know. Right now, she's just kind of like, she kind of like picked up stuff while being around the game. But we find out later that she really picked up stuff because she got a themed Washington Sentinels bar. So she gives him this. I guess nowadays it would be like CBD rub, right? That's pretty much what it looks like to me.
In a way, yeah, it's a medicated lotion.
Some sort of medicated lotion.
Yeah,
He's
it's
got-
like a lot of athletes in a way. It's like the medicated pain cream. It could be like a
Right.
version of Icy Hot too.
yeah. And then she while she's rubbing this on his shoulder, she realizes that his shoulder is dislocated or separated. She puts it back in place. You're familiar with that too, I'm sure, right?
17 times.
17 times.
Yeah, before I had the surgery. Yeah.
Wow.
It's a good thing you did last night.
That's
So
not
now they're
happened
having-
since, but I do not have full motion in my left shoulder. Can't go back all the way.
No? I remember you did it with me. a
Yeah,
couple
only
times
this
over-
I can go this far as back as I can go.
Wow.
I know
This one I can go, all the way back.
Right.
I can't go.
Gotta pay the bills, right? Max, down on A Street. Come in. I'll buy you a beer.
So I was telling him to come into the bar down the street and she'll buy him a beer.
Keep putting that yam on.
Yes.
What's it called? The gam? Yam? Yam. Is that what she said?
I don't know. She got some gams.
So we're back at the Sentinel's parking lot, and his truck is right side up again. And here comes the crew to give him a lift.
You gotta be kidding. Come on, Mark.
And-
I didn't park in your space.
And he didn't park in his space. No, he didn't park in his space, but he parked in somebody else's space. Vermont, what is it called? Lamont?
All three fellas.
So they tip his car over yet again. So I know for a fact they used both RFK Stadium for this game, for the movie, and they also used the Ravens Stadium. But they also used Camden Yards for some of the footage that they did, the filming for this movie.
So yeah, very Baltimore centric in a way too.
Yes.
Yeah.
And we've been to both of those stadiums, Baltimore's Ravens and the Orioles. So now Faison Love comes and he's insulted. Martell has insulted him, and he has pulled a gun and shot out the windshield of Martell's Porsche, and he shot out the side windows. And now he's saying, "Fix the car and don't ever touch it again."
Because, the Jackson brothers.
Yeah, the Jackson brothers. He has now opened fire in the parking lot in Baltimore. Now, I don't think that's not uncommon actually for Baltimore.
So, boys and girls, if anybody does have any firearms, you need to turn them
So now everybody's telling you now you need to turn your firearms in. The coach is saying, if you have any firearms, you got to turn them in. Everybody's like, what are you talking about? No, who has a firearm?
All right. Okay, coach, it's all yours.
So now it's little prepping for the next game. Have they found out yet that they're going to be playing against the actual professional players?
Not yet. They haven't announced it yet. It's coming.
Gene Hackman's wearing a cardigan vest.
Yes, he's got his full therapist look on.
He's giving the therapist speech here, right? You know, it's not an unreasonable request to play together and to fight. And they all have concerns about this Sunday, right?
But a real man.
Fear. He writes fear on the chalkboard.
That's what I'm asking you to do here tonight.
You want them to talk about what they fear. So you said the therapist outfit.
I'm scared of spiders, coach.
So Clifford Franklin says he's scared of spiders.
Me too, coach. I'm afraid of spiders too, coach.
The Jackson brothers, they're afraid of spiders.
Well, I didn't mean that, though. What I'm talking about.
But that's not what he's talking about. They're taking it to another level here.
You can just rock me to sleep tonight.
See, one of the players, I think, what was that? I'm not sure if Roy does, has a Metrics, a Metrics or MetaRx, shirt on. That was a very popular nutrition brand at the time. Still popular to this day, but it was like at its peak, in the early 2000s.
Was that like creatine and protein powder, stuff like that?
Yeah, that whole line. Yeah, they have protein bars. I still have the protein bars to this day. I'll have them. But when I was working at GNC, so I was used to selling that.
Oh yeah, I forgot you used to work at GNC.
Yeah.
Which one? Which GNC did you work at?
One in the Quaker Bridge Mall.
Oh, that's right.
And then when I was going through after college, I wound up running a GNC in Franklin Mills. I was a manager there.
Yeah, wow.
You're playing, and you think everything is going fine, but then one thing goes wrong, and then another.
Oh, so Shane is now talking about what his fear is, and he's talking about he fights, and the more he fights, the more he sinks. So he's pretty much talking about his game against the Sugar Bowl game. But I think out of all these players, is what?
No, go ahead. You finish your comment, then I'll go on mine.
Like all these players that are in this room here, they've all played some sort of organized football, except for Shane and Wilkinson. They both played professionally, but I'm not sure if they could all kind of understand where he's coming from.
Well, here is an example. That line they say quicksand that Falco says. It's what I was saying earlier on the beginning of the movie. One of the underrated and key lines, of this movie. Duck in a pond, quicksand. Great metaphors.
Yes, this movie does have like little metaphors in it, doesn't it?
Let's lose that fear this Sunday and put it into San Diego.
Oh, so they're playing San Diego this week, not Dallas.
Dallas is coming up. Yeah, after this, I think that's when they start seeing players cross the picket line.
Gotcha.
Dallas is the first professional team they played with the professional players coming back. I think this may be the first game they won.
I'm not sure how much more of this abuse he can take.
Yeah, it's nice to see John Madden. I really enjoy him.
Oh, fantastic. That was
So
the voice of football.
Yeah. So Shane keeps getting sacked by this guy called Morris. And so Shane tells him, let him through. Let him through. And I think this is a play that... Yeah, and this is a play that I think I've seen in other football movies. Where they let him through.
Throw it right at him.
And he just throws the ball right in his face. And just knocks him out. And so Shane's ball gets deflected off his face, and the sumo wrestler.
You could say, it's a live ball.
It's a live ball, yeah. Because then it hasn't hit the ground, so the sumo guy catches it, and he's got lead blockers, and he makes his way downfield, and they can't.
His back, the coach
nobody
says.
Can stop him. Nobody. They just ride his back. Nobody can take him down, and he makes it all.
This team, they're playing supposed to be a hybrid, probably, like of the Cowboys / Saints, with the Cowboys kind of logo and the
Saints colors.
Or Colts, mixing Colts, multiple teams together.
San Diego something. They got like horses on their helmets.
I don't remember that from the playbook.
So he goes, he doesn't remember that from the playbook. So he goes, it was off the cuff. It was a great play. It worked. Got the point across.
See a little bit more fans in the audience. Not a lot more, but it started steady increase.
And we flash to the cheerleaders.
Who's your daddy?
Right. So they're showing out now that they're being distracted by the fans are distracted.
Eyes,
The fans are showing up for the cheerleaders, not the game. I'm sure like these people in the stands are they've seen them at their club. She said, "Your friends. They're friendly." He goes, "Yeah, aren't they great?"
Look at that guy.
All these guys.
Right now we're a little delayed on the timestamp. We're at 1 hour 7 minutes and just about 10 seconds. Sorry, I meant to give it earlier on, but we got distracted with the movie.
So now here are the cheerleaders. Here's the cheerleaders are now distracting the players in the field, the whole lineman, the quarterback.
Good transition.
And so they're not sure what they're doing. The referee's distracted. Everybody's being distracted by these cheerleaders. The referee doesn't know what he's doing. And they hike the ball. He says hike without even looking at the field. And they get a nice quarterback sack or a false start. That's right, false start on everybody. So he got a 5-yard penalty.
Jack Warden is a great actor.
Yeah, he is. He plays a good owner. He's a good owner. He's the owner, right? Yeah.
Yes.
Like
still have a chance here.
Music.
Yep.
Now they're down, what, 13-7?
16-7.
16-7. So another interception by, Smith, but we all know it's not Smith, it's Wilkinson, the actual professional player that they have. They call him Smith. That's hilarious.
He went on to be on the Shield.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah.
Their coach on the San Diego side reminds me of Sean Payton.
Yep, he does. See it.
Yeah.
They take. It's. I agree.
Yeah.
That's why you kind of have you feel the Saints-esque in a way.
You do. You do. So now they're kind of like they're moving the ball now. Gene Falco's scrambling. Like his offensive line is like a sieve. He actually makes a completion and a touchdown to Roy. Not bad, Falco. She doesn't do a lot of cheerleading. She does a lot of game watching.
Hey, it's fine.
So now we got 16-14. They're going to do an onside kick here. John Favreau. I love John Favreau. He's great in this movie.
He's a great character actor.
Yeah. And so on the onside kick, Bateman picks it up. And he's not sure what he needs to do. And so he keeps running around, wasting all the clock time. He's draining the clock. And Falco's like, get down, get down, get down, get down. He won't get down. And Falco ends up tackling him.
Yes.
And he calls timeout. And Jason's going, nice hit, nice hit. They're gonna do one play here. They have enough time to do one play.
And there's no smoking in the field.
Well, yeah, of course not. So now it's a 65-yard field goal. You can't tell me when he makes this that after all this strike stuff that he doesn't get a job on a professional team after kicking a field goal like that.
Yes.
He's smoking on the field. That's great. That's great. John Madden's like, I think that guy's smoking on the field.
Here's a guy.
I see smoke everything. He's smoking on the field.
I don't know if you ever heard Frank Caliendo, comedian, do John Madden. Fantastic.
Yeah, he's really good at that. Yeah, I've heard him. So now they flash to his pub that
they know where he is.
They know where he is, and they're gonna start.
Like they didn't know he was on the team already.
He's not there. Everybody. I'm sure everybody would have known that he was there, where he was. And here's the kick. The kick is up, and it is up, and through the uprights. Got the distance.
The vibrations.
Good vibrations. Gotta love Marky Mark. This is perfect.
That dance. The 2000, people did that dance all the time.
Yeah. This movie, this song, "Good Vibrations," was in Mighty Ducks.
Yes.
When they go and grab all their gear.
Have you seen the new series, Mighty Ducks, on Disney Plus?
I have. I liked it.
Yes.
Apparently,
Emilio won't be in.
He's not going to be in the next one.
Season 2. Which my kids will be very upset with.
Yeah, I was upset when I heard that.
Yes.
I don't know if they're going to, it'll probably, after that next season, that'll probably be it.
You would think.
So they got their first win, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Their first win on a 65-yard field goal from their Welsh kicker. Now, hear that they won $8 million instead of $7 million. Do you know how much football players make now? In 20, it's 20 years ago, 22 years ago. So Annabelle's got to kick these bar rats out of her bar.
Come on in, buddy.
These guys are completely wasted. So they've just recognized who he was. But you probably could tell me that Shane Falco probably would get a job in the league after all this is too. I'm sure he'd be like a backup somewhere.
Yeah, I mean, like we saw some XFL players come in, Doug Flutie, I mean.
I think the Eagles have Greg Ward. He was in that AFL thing, AFLP, whatever. He was in that.
So what about Carson Wentz and the Colts and the debacle?
The exit speech that Frank Reich gave was not favorable to Carson Wentz. I was laughing on the outside and on the inside. The fact that and even the general manager and owner were kind of out on him too. A friend of mine suggested, he's a Giants fan. He suggested, I'll trade you Daniel Jones and Saquon Barkley for Carson Wentz. Get both of them out of New York, and I'll take Carson Wentz. I would love to see Carson Wentz on the Giants. To have him come into Philly as a New York Giant, I would love that.
The problem the Giants had is when they got rid of Odell Beckham Jr. when they traded him. That was a mind-boggling trade. Ever
since that picture of on the boat picture, the Giants have only won 5 games.
Mm-hmm. It's nice to share the misery together. It hurts even more when the Giants are doing well and the Jets stink.
Yeah. So
there is promise for the Jets.
I would say so. There's more promise with the Jets than there is with the Giants at this point.
I knew I wasn't expecting us to make the playoffs this season. I wasn't expecting us to get even a winning record. I was hoping for maybe 5-6 games. We won 4. Right. But you're rebuilding. Let you rookie play.
Yeah,
he played the whole year. He was injured.
He got hurt.
Yeah. So it takes time. They start to click.
Zach Wilson started looking good.
Yeah.
But time. The Giants, the good thing is the Giants have 2 top 10 picks this year in the draft, so that should help them.
Yes.
Just as long as they hit on them, they have to hit on them.
It's a little bit of luck and picking the right parts.
No, but I'm happy with the fact that Carson Wentz is out and the Eagles have, 3 first-round picks in the top 20. I'll take it.
And making the playoffs.
Can't beat that. So we're here in the bar. Keanu.
The original version, the Sting version, as opposed to the P. Diddy.
Right. And so now they're connecting.
Now
there's a play-by-play with John Madden and Pat Summerall.
Yeah.
That he's being shut down by this defense all afternoon.
I think I used this at my girlfriend at the time. I would do he's coming in for the kiss. He's going in. Can he do it? It was a cute thing. It still work to this day. You should try it on your wife.
It would work.
He's going to the 5.
You're cheering Falco. So finally he has interest. He has a love interest now, and now he's playing even better. He's got more confidence.
Yep, that's where they gain momentum. And I skipped a couple of games, but their first big obstacle after they're starting to click will be Dallas, as we'll see coming up.
Gotcha.
What is he drawing?
John? That's John Madden with his doodles.
Yeah.
Whap! He always has those whaps and those boobs, those whap and boom. Pat Summerall is just standing there like, "What are you talking about, man?"
John.
Thanks, John. Welcome to Strike Football.
But it still shows that all of a sudden they're not clicking on all cylinders, but
they're
making
fumbling
it work
and kicking the ball all over the place.
They're just trying to make it work. Now, this is one of my favorite parts of the movie: the sticky glue.
Right, the over stick 'em.
Yeah. You see it dripping on his hand.
I saw a meme. It was a video. Have you ever seen a team punt on 4th and goal? And what happened was it was 3rd and goal, and there was a poor snap, and the ball was kicked and punted,
made it audible,
fumbled all the way down to the other end of the field. So it was 4th and goal on their 3-yard line. Wow. It was really cool. So Clifford Flankin has all the stickum on his hands, and he goes, "This doesn't look natural, Coach."
Yeah.
No, it doesn't look natural.
He can't get the cup off his hand. Yeah. Why would you
can't get the cup off his hand
after his stick?
and he's like, he can't get the damn cup off his hands, and so they rip it out of his hands, and then he claps his hands together, right, and his hands get stuck together. Like, that's a lot of stickum.
Yes. It's dripping.
And like they're like it's like glistening in the sunlight. His hands are glistening.
Glistening.
Glistening. Their hands are so bright they're blinding to the eyes. But I guess that's the confidence he needed. The fact that he can catch the ball. Because they never talk about him putting stickum on his hands for the rest of the game. Maybe after this he just doesn't doesn't use it. He actually he gained the confidence
He's
he
trying
needed.
to spike it. Here, take it.
Right. Then he can't give it to the referee. The referee's like, "What? So Jimmy, that's his name, Jimmy McGinty. They're going to go for the win. They're not going to go for the tie." So it's what, 2-point conversion? They're losing 21-20. They go for the 2-point conversion. The play action fake. They round out. This hasn't been their strong point. They pass Summerall points out. And he throws it in the defender's hands.
He almost dropped it.
He almost drops it. Clifford Franklin grabs the deflection. And they get the 2 points. So now they do this. They're doing their Enzo dance here. They win 22-21. So they're what, 2-1? They've won 2 games so far?
Yes. 3 thus far. Now, technically, after 3 weeks, the scabs were gone in real life, but this extended through for the movie.
So now they're in the locker room giving some reporters are doing some reporting here.
We're at 1 hour, 21 minutes, 20 seconds.
So it amazes me how braggadocio Clifford Franklin is after what, 2 catches? He's speaking in the third
Clifford
person.
Franklin talks as Clifford Franklin.
Right, he's talking to the third person.
He thinks he's The Rock.
He thinks he's all that.
There's only one man that made that famous. He's electrifying.
I sent you.
I love how he looks at the camera.
And then John Favreau walks through and shoves him into his locker.
He just stares at the camera.
I sent you a picture of the San Antonio Spurs mascot dressed up as The Rock in his fanny pack.
Yes. That's a big Halloween costume.
It's huge.
Is the turtleneck with the chain. I saw a kid come to the door wearing that costume. I loved it.
Did you? That's awesome.
It was fantastic.
There's a Jumanji skit where The Rock is giving out candy to kids, and they come dressed up as Jumanji, and the doorbell rings, and it's Kevin Hart dressed up as Rock with
The Rock,
with the fanny
turtleneck.
pack.
Yes,
It's so funny. If you haven't seen it, you search it on YouTube. It's great.
I saw
it's
it.
great.
Yeah.
My kids love that.
We have a deal. No interference with my coaching. As long as the strike is on, Shane Falco is my quarterback. We have to beat down.
So now it's Gene Hackman and the manager, the owner are talking. The owner is found out that Martell is going to cross the picket line. That's the quarterback for the Sentinels. And Gene Hackman's like, "No, you said as long as there's a strike, I call the shots." And now he's saying, "Well, this shot I'm going to have to say no. I want my quarterback in there. I'm paying him. I want my quarterback in there." And Gene Hackman does not want that. So he's upset. Because he's been stabbed in the back and betrayed by the owner. And so now he's got to go and tell Shane Falco, who's practicing. He has the love of football, the love of the game back in his mind now. He feels it, and so now he's practicing. And
Southpaw quarterback.
Yeah, right. Southpaw lefty quarterback like Steve Young, Michael Vick. How many left-handed quarterbacks were there? Not Scott Mitchell.
Successful ones, not too many, I'd say. You know, that they're the higher echelon.
I'm trying to name them here. There's Mark Burline.
Well, Boomer Esiason.
Boomer Esiason. Mark Burline. Boomer Esiason. Michael Vick.
Mark Brunell. You know, Tim
Brunell.
Tebow. Fantastic Tim Tebow.
Tim Tebow. You can't get away from that guy. He's a Mets outfielder for a while.
Everywhere, yeah. And then you know, he was
the Jets' savior for a little bit, right?
Yes, made a presence in Jacksonville.
Right. What a joke. What a disaster that is out there. I'm excited to see who takes over for Jacksonville now. I hope Doug Peterson. I hope he takes over. He needs a job. I'll coach. Yeah, sure. I'll coach the Jaguars.
Well, I know it's a focus. Tony Khan, the owner of the Jaguars, who's the owner of AEW. You know he's focused.
That's right. Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Quarterback. He actually runs 3 companies. He's the owner of I forgot the name of it. A soccer team as well as the Jaguars and AEW. So he has 3 jobs.
Oh wow, he's got a lot of money.
Oh, billionaire. His dad's a billionaire.
Jeez. So now they're in the locker room here, and Shane Falco is I would say depressed. You know, he was feeling it. He was enjoying his love of football again, and now
so he's the owner of the Fulham Football Club as well.
The who club?
The Fulham Football Club.
Oh, is that a soccer team?
Yes. You think I know wrestling? Tony Khan, he can compete. He knows.
Yeah, I bet.
And being my age to own a company, it's pretty good.
So Shane Falco is not going to sit on the bench. He's not going to hold a clipboard while his replacement. I guess, yeah, he's being replaced now, right?
Yes.
Comes back, so he's going to. The replacement is being replaced, so he's packing his bags and he's going home. And there's these 2 guys in the bar again. These guys don't. What else do they have? They're just here hanging in the bar.
If I drank that much, I'd probably be like 600 pounds.
It's a lot of beer, man, to be drinking.
Yeah.
It's expensive too.
Yes.
And so now they're going out to, I guess, the whole party, and all the cheerleaders are hanging out with the team now. They're successful. I don't remember this part of the movie.
Yeah, this is where he'll get the proposition to throw the game.
Oh, does he? The kicker.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
By his gambling cohorts. Oh, Roy.
So Roy is trying to pick up one of the cheerleaders through sign language, and it looks like it worked.
That's some sign language.
Yeah, I think it worked. So they're trying. The kicker's trying to teach them ole, 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 and nobody knows that Shane's been replaced. Number 16 in your playbook, number 1 in your hearts, Shane Falco.
That's a very infamous quote that we used multiple times in sports movies and TV shows.
That's right.
Number so-and-so on the field and number 1 in your hearts.
So he tries to quietly tell him that he's not playing anymore. And he tells the whole bar to quiet down. I can't hear what he's saying.
When are you gonna tell the guys?
I don't know. I don't
He cut the music. He's gonna he wants to cut it all out. I gotta tell you something. Not gonna play.
Got good news.
Good news.
This
He
Thursday,
does. He plays it off well.
back in the league.
He said you're gonna play with the best quarterback in the league. Everybody thinks that Shane Falco is the best quarterback in the league, but Martell is crossed, and everybody's not too happy with that.
So, while you guys are getting pounded by Dallas,
And he goes, "While you're getting pounded by Dallas,
drinking beer on my boat, kicking back.
he's going to be sitting on his boat, kicking back, relaxing."
Well, again, he's kind of giving up. Right when he gets there, he's taking defeat in a way.
He's our leader. Most of all, he's our friend.
They follow him. They support him. So they're gonna miss him, but they want to play on. And of course, if you really want to play, just keep playing. All right. I guess the replacements really can't go on strike. They can't refuse. They can't refuse to play.
What do you think about gambling on college football?
I do. I did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I know it was up for vote, recently, especially in New Jersey.
What is it? What was the
The vote where you could profit from college football, betting on college football.
Well, you can't vote. You can't bet on college football in New Jersey.
Well, yeah, you can. Yeah, you can.
No. Yeah, I did. I just did on this national championship game.
Yeah.
I
Well,
don't.
now
know.
gambling is legal in New York now. Before it wasn't. Online gambling.
Yeah,
You
the
Yeah.
DraftKings just got
Yep.
approved.
I think eventually they'll move to how New Jersey is with all gambling, with cards and poker, blackjack. Right now they released it for. 'Cause you have to get, if you were in New York, you had to go to these overseas websites that your money was funneled through, Caymans or whatever.
Yeah, I think with the pandemic, it accelerated the whole gambling. Gambling.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah.
Or
luckily, I haven't yet. Gone into that realm of gambling.
No, I bet on the spread on the under of the national championship game. I won the under.
Yeah.
I lost. I didn't think Alabama was going to lose to Georgia, so I lost that.
Roll Tide.
It was hard for me to place the bet on Alabama to begin with, but then, whatever. So there's a little shot of Gene Hackman in the tunnel.
Yeah.
And it was a very famous shot of Tom Landry with his Tom Landry shadow in the tunnel. And they were kind of reminiscing, like that's the whole Tom Landry throwback right there. And now Kenny Martell comes out leading the team, and he's being booed. Before he was the cat's meow. Everybody loved him, but he goes on strike and he crosses the picket line, and nobody wants him out there. Who do they want? They want Shane Falco. And I think all the players on the team too. They want Shane
you build
Falco.
chemistry. It's even though technically he may be the more skilled quarterback, but you go with the quarterback that you have the best chemistry with the team.
Right.
Martell may be more gifted of a quarterback, but at the same time, Falco has the chemistry.
Yeah, look at it. Martell drops back, and his first drop back, he gets sacked. They went through the whole bit fast. Now again, they're playing Dallas, and Dallas is the whole team crossed. So,
And Martell now, it was the recent Batman movie.
What is he?
Yeah, he was dealing with Commissioner Gordon.
Oh, really? Clifford Franklin just asked the guy for his autograph. He wanted his autograph.
See, this is when you're playing a professional team, Dallas, and you're going head to head with a pro team.
Yeah, they're getting lit up. They're getting hit hard. How do you feel about all the players swapping jerseys at the end of games now?
I don't like it.
It's
I
like
don't.
so
I don't like it.
much.
I
When
don't
it
like it.
first
I like it
happened.
as it is when players jump from team to team. I like when the players with the team for years and years and they move. It looks so weird seeing them in a different. Like
Yeah.
Tom Brady is seeing him in a Buccaneers jersey. It looks so
it's
weird.
Yeah.
Yeah. You don't have that now. It's like they'll go
No.
from team, especially in baseball. It's from team to team to team. You want if you have a team, it should be the base. I mean, some players come and go, but your core players will be there for years.
Yeah, I agree.
Years.
Yeah.
Like when Jose Reyes left the Mets, he looked weird in another jersey.
He was with the Blue Jays, right?
Yeah, it's just weird seeing that. And then the Miami Marlins, it's just
he
weird.
played for the Marlins too, right?
Yeah, it's just very strange seeing him. Now it's how there are some players granted that their role is to move from team to team. That's what they're
journeyman or role players, right?
Yeah.
Players.
Yeah, so that's given, but you see that all the time now. They'll hop, like, for instance, now for the Mets, they have Lindor who's the team. The core team is gonna be for a long time. Lindor for a decade. He's gonna be a Met. So we'll see if that's good in year 5 and up. We'll see. We'll see. But he'll be a Met for a long time.
Right. Well, that's like with the Phillies. They signed Harper for 12 years, 13 years.
Yeah.
So he won the MVP, so it's paying off. But he needs to win more MVPs, and he needs to win a World Series.
Well, like Ryan Howard. Ryan Howard was a long time. I mean, you don't have that now. It's tough.
Well, he had a good span of years. He had a good 5 years.
Yeah.
After he got hurt, it was.
Yeah, but I mean, he had long tenure. So
he did. Yeah. He's up for Hall of Fame this year. Him and Jimmy Rollins.
He deserves it. I saw his first game playing. I was there. Saw his first starting game.
I hope he gets in.
Great player. Hated him. He killed the Mets.
You hate Pat Burrell too, right? Pat Burrell killed the Mets.
Chipper Jones.
Chipper Jones killed the Mets.
Hated Chipper.
Yeah.
Chipper named his son Shea because he did so well at Shea Stadium.
Did he really?
Yes.
That's funny.
We were thinking of names. We were considering Shea.
Oh, really? For your kids?
Yeah.
That's funny. So here's the kicker. He's on the sidelines getting a
smoke.
So
this is where they're kind of telling him that he has to.
So now he's like, okay.
Lose the game, so they can,
Honestly, who is betting on replacement games? Like that,
people bet anything, Mike.
That's foolish money right there. That's just foolish.
They'll bet whether or not, the player urinates before the game or not, He did it.
So Martell has no respect for Hackman. He could care less what Hackman has to say. He goes, I play the way I play. I don't care what you think how I should play.
We need heart, he says, right?
Yeah, he needs heart. Shane Falco's watching from his boat.
That was a message to him.
Yep.
Gotta have heart.
Gotta have heart. We need heart. I love Gene Hackman. He's great, too. He's great.
Oh, he plays the coach role so well. And I can't wait to go back and watch Hoosiers again.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that. So he said, in order to get back into the game, they need heart.
You just underthrew me. This isn't a track meet, asshole. You have to look for the ball. Back up out of my sight.
So now Martell, it's all a blame game now in the locker room. Martell said you have to look for the ball, and Clifford Franklin goes, you underthrew me, and so they're all fighting.
Hey, what the hell are you thinking about? We got a game.
And in walks Shane Falco. Martell goes,
in our hearts.
Nobody can beat Dallas with this slop.
Coach, what the hell took you so long?
And what took you so long to get there? Traffic. He said it won't be the first time he was fired. So Martell's getting benched in replacement of Shane Falco. So this is standoff.
I got 2 Super Bowl rings. And you'll never be more than a replacement player.
Martell has 2 Super Bowl rings, and he'll be nothing more than a replacement player.
Brothers, will somebody please get this asshole out of here?
Him and his soul patch.
It's true. Like Martell, like he should have probably not have. He probably should have just stayed on the sidelines and not crossed because he had no chemistry with any of these guys.
Well, he did it for the glory. There's contention to make the playoffs, you know, and
Washington has not been able to do against Dallas in over 7 years.
your prototypical theme song for sports movies.
From this
This
is
days to
Jock
be
Jock
played.
Jams. This is Jock Jams.
Jock Jams. Yep. That, you know, Jock Jams and
And here comes out of the tunnel, Shane Falco. And you're like, what's Falco doing out here? Everybody's all
CNC Music
surprised.
Factory be on Jock Jams, you know.
That's right. That was the best. I had all those CDs.
Yes. Jock Jams was fantastic.
ESPN Jock Jams.
When I pretended to be on the like I would wear my Knicks rip-off uniform, I'd sit down, pretend they'd call me to the game, rip it off.
Right.
You know, think I'm, you know, Charles Oakley shooting the basketball.
Charles Oakley. So he runs over to the cheerleader, and she starts giving him the rundown of how Dallas is playing.
Yes.
And he gives her a good kiss, and John Maddon's like, "Are they necking down there?" He goes, "Yeah. What are they gonna do? Throw him off the team?
That's why girls don't play the game, coach. There you go.
It's nasty out there, coach."
This time tomorrow.
And this is a good quote coming up when he's when they're about to win the game.
Mistake out there tonight.
I get another great quote.
They should be because you have a powerful.
Dallas has made a big mistake.
There is no
I hate
tomorrow
Dallas.
for you. And that makes you all very dangerous people.
You have nothing to lose. There's no tomorrow. That makes you very dangerous people. Because because everybody right the whole team comes back tomorrow, right? So this is their last game.
Yes.
They have nothing to lose.
Martell wanted to come back earlier to make a statement.
Right. Now, I'd like to think that Shane Falco stays on as their quarterback. Why not, right?
You would think, right? But again, chemistry.
Yeah.
You know. Drop kick.
Right. They got a couple little penalties, I think, on this one. They just drop kicked the whole team. Every player on the Dallas is on their back.
This is great. Trying to calculate the penalties.
Right. There's unnecessary roughness on like everybody. The referee has no idea what to do. Who they think they're playing? So the Dallas coach thinks they need respect because they're the much far more superior team. I would say no. So from his end zone, the referee gets
Rev
the
get it.
gets.
So
Is he gonna make
close,
it
and he
in?
got it.
And
Yeah,
he
but that'll
gets
do it
it.
for Rev.
But the Rev
got
is
it, but he's
done.
done.
Looks like he tore like an ACL or something. His
Yes,
knee is
he's done.
shot. He's done.
We are 1 hour, 42 minutes, 22 seconds.
So his knee is in a direction that shouldn't be. And he's okay. I'm fine. I made the touchdown. I scored the touchdown.
Don't be sorry, man. Going out in front of 80,000 people ain't bad, huh?
Going out in front of 48,000 people is not bad. He's happy. This must be like a Monday night football game or a Thursday night football or a Sunday night.
Yeah, definitely a prime
They're
time
playing
game.
They're playing under the lights. So they got Roy catches a first down.
I mean, there were a lot of players that dealt with being deaf, either, you know, because of the hits, especially earlier players, you know,
Sure.
before concussion protocols and the improvement in helmets, but they had to learn how to play with hearing loss.
So Shane Falco has put the team on his back, unlike Carson Wentz, and he's driving down the field. Clifford Franklin catches everything in sight now.
Yeah, now he can catch.
Right? He can't. He can't. You just throw it to him, and he'll catch it no matter what. He'll just go get
It
it.
could have been a matter of confidence, too.
It really
You know,
was. I think it really
your
was
head,
for him.
You think so much?
I think so. He bosses everybody out there now, right? He said, "Give it to Wilkinson. He's going to go to jail tomorrow, so give it to him." So they're playing like having two-way. Like players are playing both ways because Bateman was in the offensive huddle, and so was Wilkinson. That was wild. Ray Smith, that's what he goes by. Ray Smith.
Ray Smith.
Pretty generic name. Here's the quote. Here comes the quote. You know, you're hurting.
You see, you're not allowed to take your helmet off on the field unless it's removed during play. Yeah,
that's right. So the quote is, "Pain heals. Chicks dig scars.
Yes.
Glory lasts forever."
There you go.
Pretty cool. That was pretty cool, right?
To tell you, the quotes, like I said at the beginning of the movie, the quotes in this are very underrated. You know, very quotable movie.
Pain heals. Chicks dig scars. Glory lasts forever. And that quote has helped them drive down like there's play like there's no tomorrow, because there is.
Well, they cut out the extra line. Where's the eggnog?
Where's the eggnog?
That was removed.
So now they're still on offense here. No, they're on defense. Daniel Bateman comes up with a big sack again. 28 seconds left. And so Ray Smith takes the punt.
He's a beast.
And with a great block for Bateman.
I mean, he's built. He looks like a professional athlete.
He does, yeah. He takes the punt down to the 40-yard line. I think there's, 10 seconds left?
See, this is where they're pressuring him. He has to miss the kick.
Now, does he miss the kick?
I'm sure he has gambling debts. And to make it up, he has to throw the game.
Yeah. Which is, everybody talks about that.
Yes.
I mean, are these kickers missing on purpose? What? So it's weighing heavy on his mind. How can he concentrate to kick this field goal when he knows that he could lose his bar if he doesn't? So he's losing it. So he had the money to pay him back, and he lost it at the horse races, because they're going to take his pub away. And so Shane's like, "Oh, we're screwed." He's got to think quick. What should he do?
He's not letting it rely on him. So
he's going to take the ball out of his hands.
Yep.
So he breaks his
leg.
The guy breaks his leg.
Yeah.
So he can't get in trouble because Shane took the play out of it. He called it audible. And it's now a field goal. And he drives down, runs down, and scores a touchdown. Spikes it straight into the ground. But again, it's what happens.
Holding.
It's got to come back.
That's typical. It's a typical jet play.
Typical. Now, why did he call a timeout there? Wouldn't the play stopped on the penalty?
Should have, yeah.
So he broke his arm. He didn't break his leg. He broke his arm.
Yeah, he landed on his arm.
So Gene Hackman was not happy with the fact that he called that.
Winners always do.
Winners want the ball. So he goes, "I want the ball."
No, he trusts him.
They can't kick a field goal now because obviously there's problems there. So now what are they going to do? They're burnt out. Look at the guy. They keep showing these pictures. They're tired. They're sweating. They're exhausted.
Just make sure you rip someone's head off on this one.
Consider it done.
He's got a belly full of eggs.
Got a belly full of eggs.
Give Roy the ball.
Give Roy the ball.
He's not going to get married to Pam. Give him the ball.
Yeah.
Spoiler alert.
Spoiler alert.
It's on one-on-one.
All right, so the final play of the game. Shane Falco behind center. As everybody looks on and with anticipation of this last play of the game. Beat Dallas. Beat Dallas. They don't want to lose. They want to win this game. They're taking it seriously. They know this is their last game. Again, some of these guys, I would see they would probably get jobs on other teams because of how they've played.
Green 86! Green 86!
They really didn't have a lot of if some of these guys are playing both ways, but they have a lot of guys at the sideline, right? What are those guys doing? So Shea drops back. He throws it. I think he throws it to Roy in the corner of the end zone. He's open. The pass is
Perfect pass.
Caught in the end zone. Touchdown.
Great ending song.
He knew it all along. The owner says, I knew it all along. Shane was the perfect guy.
I love this song too. It's very inspirational.
Washington 20. And now we go to the playoffs with that win right there.
Very 90s song as well.
Very 90s. Very 90s. So they are all, Shane and Gene Hackman are having a moment here where they're pointing to each other saying, it was you. No, it was you. No, it was you.
No, you.
This is a good song. We Could Be Heroes, right? Very good song. So everybody's celebrating. Clifford Franklin and some guy who never played a down in the game. And Shane Falco walks over to the cheerleader, and they embrace. They're ecstatic that they had won. Somebody's holding up Falco signs in the stands. So
Yes.
apparently Falco was very popular.
It's a great story. If this was, real life, this would be a big hit. The underdog quarterback stepping up. It's,
It sounds familiar. I think it happened right around 2017. A backup quarterback came to save a team with 6 games left of the season, and they rode those 6 games to the Super Bowl. I think it was the Eagles. Yeah, with Nicky Six.
For sneakers or soda pop or breakfast cereal.
no
The
comment.
Eagles, Nick Foles with the Super Bowl for the Eagles.
Yeah. I got you.
But what they didn't know was that their lives would be changed forever.
So
Because they had been part of something.
here's a monologue
Great,
here with
great ending monologue narration by Gene Hackman.
Stays with a man.
they formed friendships.
This could be used for intro to pump up in real life games.
Yeah, it's a good intro, a good outro, really.
Yeah. That's right. 1 hour, 52 minutes, 44 seconds. That's wrapping up.
Yeah. So they
As they're
play
doing
the
their
song
dance.
from their
trademark
their-
song.
their
Ulster
jail
God, with their
dance.
line dancing.
jail dance.
Jail line dance.
Is Falco in this dance?
I don't see him.
I don't see him. He doesn't dance.
Even with a broken arm, he's dancing.
Yeah, but no Falco. He's not a dancer. Not a dancer. Gene Hackman's like, way to go, guys. Way to go.
So
That's
this
it.
had a budget of 50 million, and it made 50 million. So it
Wow.
broke even record. Broke even.
That's wild. That is wild.
The year of the
2000.
time, 2000. So thoughts,
2000.
Mike? Yeah.
I enjoyed it. It's a fun movie. I enjoyed it. Shane Falco, played by Keanu Reeves, one of my favorite actors of all time. He's
From Bill and
from
Ted, from that point on,
Bill
and
and
then
Ted,
Speed.
even before that, Parenthood.
Yeah,
He was in Parenthood, Speed. He makes great movies. He makes really good movies, and he's a good guy. So it makes it easy for you to like him.
There's something with him and women with short hair. Matrix, Speed, with Sandra Bullock with short hair, and here, you know.
Yeah. It's just I like him as a character, as an actor, and as a human being. He's a good human being.
So what would you rate the movie?
The movie, I think it holds up. I think it's it's still relatable. It's a relatable story. Underdogs and scabs and overpaid professionals. So I would give it a 7 out of 10. I would give it a 7 out of 10.
I'd say a 6.5. I'd say.
Okay.
Yeah, it's fun to watch. It's nothing that's gonna you're not gonna watch it a million times over again. You'll watch it every few years or so. You'll quote it. That's why I won't give it any lower than that. 7 above is something I think you would really, it's something you talk about all the time, and I don't think you talk about necessarily the replacements all the time. But it's good.
It's underrated. I don't think there's a lot of people out there who've seen it.
This will be a movie I feel comfortable introducing it to especially my oldest son when he's in his teenage years. If he's playing football, I'd be comfortable introducing him to this. So because it's relatable and it's a good story. It takes a true life situation. And
there was a lot of football in it too. There was a lot of football.
Yeah. Oh, heavy football. Yeah.
There's a lot of
the storyline centric too.
Yeah, there's a lot of football, involved in this movie. So I think also what made it legitimized it was that John Madden was broadcasting it. So that kind of made it legitimized it.
Yeah, I can't wait till we cover the Any Given Sunday, because that's another, that was more you could say the darker side, the more intense side of football.
Yeah, there's less football. I think a lot of those football scenes were very close and quick and black and dark.
Close cut, which we'll discuss, and very intense. Of course, when you deal with Al Pacino, that's what you're going to get. But let's, Mike, so to recast this.
Recast it.
Jane Falco, Gene Hackman, part, right. And let's say we could do the kicker.
Yeah. Let's see.
Maybe the head cheerleader, Annabelle's role.
Right. Interesting.
See, you can't say The Rock. I would love to say it, but The Rock is a natural athlete, so it doesn't he won't be the underdog. He's not the underdog. No. He'll be the guy that's the starter, that's unionizing, that's walking off.
It'd be crazy. What came to my mind really quick was to play Shane Falco would be James Vanderbeek. I don't know why that came to my mind. Okay. That's like a crazy, out there.
Yeah.
Let's put James Vanderbeek as the second string quarterback to come in and play.
Yeah. I could definitely see that. Coach. So to replace Gene Hackman, who would you say that'd be relatable? This day and age,
an older actor, I guess, right?
Yeah.
What would be cool is if it was like Tom Cruise. Like Tom Cruise came in as an older coach, like he almost he's not an old coach, but he's not a new coach, but he's kind of he reminds me if Shane was McVay, from the Rams, that's what Tom Cruise reminds me of him.
Yeah.
So maybe Tom Cruise is the coach. That'd be kind of cool to see that.
Yeah, I could see that. What
about you? What do you think?
Yeah, I'm trying to think. You want someone, with that stature, that classy stature, that commands respect. I still think, he's very Jerry Maguire-esque, to think.
Yeah, but see, that's where it's kind of cool. He has the thought of that.
Yeah, I mean, it's a good idea. I'm racking my brain to think of somebody that maybe a good fit. That.
What do you think about that? The Google rating for it was a 6. IMDb a 6.6 out of 10.
Okay, so it's kind of in between what we said.
Yeah,
you're 6.5. Yeah.
And it's 41% on Rotten Tomatoes. And that Google users, 87% of Google users enjoyed this movie. Came out August 11th, 2000. So just under 20, or just a little under 22 years ago.
And thoughts overall?
Overall, it's a fun movie. I'm glad we watched it. It was a good choice for football.
Yeah. It opened in the third position in the North American box office, making around 11 million. Its opening weekend. It was behind Space Cowboys and Hollow Man.
Yep, I remember those movies. Those were good movies.
Yeah. Rodriguez gave it 2 out of 4 stars, saying it was slap happy entertainment.
Slap happy entertainment.
Yeah, so I can understand that.
Okay. Well, I'm happy we watched that. I enjoyed it.
Yeah, I agree. Did you ever see the Tooth Fairy?
Yeah.
What's his name? That was the head tooth, the one that was working with the Rock.
Right. He was.
He would be a good kicker. I forgot his name. He
was in this movie. Oh! The guy. His name was Stephen Merchant.
Yes, I think he would be good as the kicker.
Stephen
part,
Merchant,
a little different. Because he's tall, lanky. Has that comedic humor and the timing. I'd say.
Yeah, it's funny that you said the Tooth Fairy. The guy, one of the Tooth Fairies, was the defensive coordinator.
Yes,
he was in that movie.
Yes, he was. He was also the Tooth Fairy in Santa Claus.
Oh, maybe that's what I'm thinking of.
That's what I'm thinking. Tooth Fairy in Santa Claus.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking of.
Yeah, that's what he was. You're on target. We somewhat tied it in there. Christmas, The Rock, connected the circle.
Yeah.
So that was good. Replacements. We our next installment of our movie theme as we continue on.
It's our third movie in our rotation of football movies for this round of movie watching.
You want to release or give any idea of what we're going to cover next?
I think we're going to hold off on that. It'll be a surprise.
I love it.
We're going to be a surprise. So I want to say thank you again.
Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure. No, I'm just kidding.
Bill and Ted's.
It'll be football themed as we
Bill and Shane. It's Bill and Shane Falco.
Yes.
I'm going to say thank you again, Sean, for coming and watching the replacements with me. That was fun.
I enjoyed it going back to the year 2000.
Again, if you are on Instagram and Twitter, you can find us on Twitter at Let's All Rewatch. And if you're on Instagram, it's Let's All Rewatch the Movies _ in between all the words. Again, thank you for listening, and we will see you next time.
Good night. We're out of time.